Hello, I'm Vanessa. I write 1920s cozy mysteries under my pen name Abaness, and I love writing with friends. And today I have two of my lovely friends, AJ and Jo, joining me for some writing sprints and have a little bit of chat about what we're reading, what we're writing, and how we go with our sprints as we continue on with our works in progress. So I might hand over to you, Jo, to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you write and who you are.
Thanks very much for that, Ness. Um, I'm Jo McAlister. I write dark romance with humour, and I'm currently working on a dark romance with humorous aspects where both the both the protagonists are serial killers.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm now going to hand over to AJ. Thanks, AJ.
I'm AJ Blythe and I write Australian set mysteries. And the current mystery that I am writing is set between Canberra and the Bunya Mountains in Queensland. Yeah, a bit of a jump in geography as we go through it. And previously I wrote cozies, but this one's a bit more of a single title sort of standalone mystery.
Excellent. All right. And I'm currently writing a third book in my Lady Marigold's 1920s murder mystery series and looking forward to diving into that today. Just wondering how you guys go. So you're both writing standalones, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine's part of a series, so
It is part of a series. Okay.
yes, has series potential. So I've planned three books in the series. Yeah, with
Yeah.
different main characters, different female and male main characters for each book. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and how's your writing week been? Have you been getting very much done? I know we had a little writing sprint on Wednesday night, but how have you gone since then?
Oh, very quiet. Yeah, for me. So I think I got another 500 words out besides what I did on Wednesday night. So very quiet, but all progress, even small progress is good progress.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
How about you, AJ?
So from the Wednesday sprint, I was working on some feedback from a critique partner, and it's made me realize I need to change the personality of my main character a bit. So I have been changing her up on just like in my notes on how she is, and now I've got to translate that back into the manuscript. So that's what I'm going to start looking at today is just changing some of those personality quirks, which will sort of change how she responds to situations or how she speaks, as well.
Okie dokes. That sounds interesting. Um, and on Wednesday night we have our sprint group with our Canberra writers group, and you might remember that I was using the snowflake method to reverse outline my draft that I had for book three, and I've nearly finished that. So I'm going to finish that in the first sprint today, and then hopefully start rewriting chapter one in the second sprint.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Oh, all right. We want to get our first sprint underway. Let me see if I can get the timer to share this week. Hopefully, you can see that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Let's do it. Okie
Ew.
dokes, we're done. Sprint number one, done and dusted. How do we go?
Um, okay, I think I've rewritten some of we're rewriting a scene at the moment. I've nearly finished with her taking a very different reaction to how the situation presented. So yeah, I think it's going well, but it's a lot of work to then follow it all the way through with the rest of what I've written.
Yeah, yeah. I think we were talking a couple of weeks ago with my other manuscript where I'd
Yeah.
realized I needed to change the main character to be American. Yeah, it's totally different set of piece of writing, isn't it? Like,
It's very different. Yeah, I'm not changing her nationality, I'm just changing her innate personality, but it
yeah,
still has the
yeah,
same consequence.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It has a flow and effect to everything. So
yeah,
yeah, but when you know it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do.
that's right. Have to do it.
Yep, have to keep going. How about you, Joe? How'd you go?
Um, Good. I was just changing a particular scene to make the conflict better because I'd sort of I had done something that had taken the conflict out of it. So I probably added about 500 words in doing that, but it was easy to tweak once I decided what I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
yep, they hate each other and it's good.
Ooh, I love it when they hate each other. That's my favorite trope. But
Me too.
they've got to actually hate each other and have a good reason for it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Okay. Well, I finished my reverse outline, so I
Ah,
am ready
brilliant.
to restart the new, hopefully the final draft of this book because people have been emailing me a lot asking me where it is, and I am really excited with how the story's going. It's taken a long sort of time for me to be happy with the storyline, but I have many variations of this book on my laptop. But I think I'm finally settled with this being the book three. So looking forward to diving back into the next sprint. But before we do that, I was just interested just to hear your stories about why you chose the genre that you write in.
Well, I can go
Yeah, you
first.
go first, Jo.
Yeah. So, dark romance, I'm going to completely blame the author, Bryn Weaver. So, she has two series that are really great, and so like her first series, the Butcher and Blackbird series, it's called, is the one that got me in, and that's right, enemies to lovers trope with both protagonists are serial killers, and so I loved all three of those books. And then she's got a new series as well, and yeah, I just really enjoyed them. And besides that, Rina Kent, who writes dark
Yeah.
romance, but not sort of with that same humorous edge. It's very dark and very, like, if you can imagine someone who's even more morally grey than someone who's a serial killer.
Right.
Well, that's Rina Kent's books. Like, we might go over from morally grey to like morally black. It's
Yeah, yeah.
they're quite dark, a lot of them, but I just really enjoy the genre, and they totally just sucked me in, and it has meant that it just fired my imagination, and I got an idea probably midway through the Butcher and Blackbird series, and here I am, like 15,000
Excellent.
words into.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's how it happens. Something just hits your head and then you've got to write it.
Yep, exactly. What about you, AJ? How did you become into mysteries?
So I have always been an avid mystery reader. So as a kid, I started with Trixie Belden, did a bit of Nancy Drew, moved on to Dick Francis and Agatha Christie. And I did read a lot of fantasy, still do read a fair bit of fantasy, romance, and I've tried writing romance, and every time I'd write romance, it would get very complicated because a mystery would somehow just
Yeah,
come into it. And I'd get more engrossed in the subplot of the mystery than I would in the actual romance.
Yeah.
So I decided I really should just write the mysteries because that's just where I guess, my passion is and what I read probably the majority of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also love a mystery.
Yes.
Also grew up with the famous five and
Oh,
Trixie,
yes,
as we
Enid
talked about
Blyton.
last
Yeah.
week. Yeah. And yeah, my parents used to get the Reader's Digest condensed books. You would get the three
Yeah.
books in
Yeah. Yeah.
one. And nearly everyone that would arrive would have a Mary Higgins Clark book in it. So I read a lot of those as a kid, which probably wasn't a great idea. And when I started writing, I originally started writing young adult fantasy because I was reading Harry Potter at the time. And then I started, when I got my Kindle, I started reading a lot of Amanda Lee's witch cozy mysteries. And
Yep.
so sort of the same thing, Joe. I really got hooked into this sort of this mixture between fantasy and cozy mystery, and I've always loved anything to do with witches. So I started at the first book I actually wrote was a witch cozy mystery. I wrote it in NaNoWriMo in
Mhm.
2019, I think, and um, and then when I met Nick, my critique partner, she started working through it with me, and she kept asking me all these questions about the characters, and I was like, it was very vague, and I just didn't really have a lot of enthusiasm for those characters, except for one. And so there was one character in that book that was a ghost from the 1920s. He was a radio star from the 1920s, and I absolutely loved writing that character the most of the whole book. And suddenly I started thinking, why am I writing in this genre, witchy cozy mysteries? Because I like reading Amanda's books, but I
Yeah.
don't really watch a lot of other paranormal TV or movies. I'm a total wimp. I hate anything scary. Um, and then when I sort of looked at it a bit more closely, it's sort of like, well, I really love Downton Abbey. I love Miss Fisher. Ever since I've been a kid, I've loved all the historical dramas. You might be too young to remember The Sullivans. I
Oh
loved
no. The Sullivan.
Carson's Law, which was set in Melbourne in the 1920s, and it just made sense that was the genre that I was probably most at home in, and so that's how I started writing 1920s mysteries. I started reading the Ginger Gold series and Verity Bright's Lady Eleanor Swift books, and just got hooked on them, and here I am. That's why I write 1920s mysteries.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're always open to switch around and try something new, aren't you? But
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I tried, but it didn't matter what I wrote. That mystery had to
yeah,
had to be there.
yeah,
me
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think for me it's a lot of the era, and also because I've been consuming so much of that content for so long, I know it really well, so I
Yeah.
don't have to do a ton of research.
Yeah. And that's why I write contemporary because I'm more about the mystery
Yeah,
and like researching in that field rather than doing the world building
yeah,
research.
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, shall we get back into it with another sprint?
Sounds good.
Let
Yes.
me get the timer back up and let's start. All righty, 15 minutes. That was pretty good for me. How about you guys?
It was good up until a point. And this is a functional thing, not a writing thing. For some reason, I've done something, and when I type my quotation marks, they're not appearing until I type the quotation mark at the end of the speech bubble.
Oh,
And then if I try and do the start of a sentence that they're speaking, I do the quotation mark and then a capital I. So like, I was over there.
yeah.
It's not giving me the quotation mark at all. It's turning it into a capital I with an umlaut, the German double two dots above it. So my
Oh,
last 5 minutes of that sprint, we're trying to work out what on earth is going on with
don't
my
you hate,
manuscript.
Yeah.
I hate technical things like that. I mean, you don't remember pressing a button or,
Nothing. I've got no idea. No.
yeah, it's the worst, the
I'd
worst.
say I've done a code, like I've accidentally hit a couple of keys at once, maybe, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got no clue. So,
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, hopefully you can get that sorted for the last sprint.
yeah.
Otherwise, there'll be some very interesting looking dialogue in your draft.
Yeah, that's right.
How'd you go, Joe?
Yeah, I probably added about 300 words, which is not much, but I really got that chapter 3, to where I wanted it to be. So I'm very happy with that. And now on to chapter 4, just massaging it, because I've already written that chapter, but I just need to do some changes now. So yeah, it's all good, feeling positive.
Nice.
That's great.
I think I did about 330 new words. I'm just sort of writing a new introductory paragraph, a new introductory chapter, to set the scene for the story. So I'm still sort of working out what it's going to look like, but it was good fun. I have a little dog in my series called Pepper, who's very much a scamp, so I love writing scenes with him because he's very funny. So if anyone saw me laughing, that was why. Sometimes when I write at the National Library, I think people must think that there's something wrong with me because I'll often be sitting there with my headphones in, just typing away, laughing at whatever I'm writing. Look, as long as I find it funny, that's the main thing.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh dear. So I just wondered also what you guys have been reading this week. I know, Joe, you've been reading our friend Emma Gray's new book, which I also have just finished this week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, this has turned into a bit of a uh, unintentionally a bit of a book club suddenly.
Yeah, yeah,
Feel very left out.
yeah.
um, yeah. So here is the book.
Yes.
uh, yeah, Emma Gray's Start at the End, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I mean, the book is all about how do we deal with grief? How do we show up after we've had like a major
Mm.
life-changing event? Um, I really liked a lot of the characters in it, and I mean, I am a sucker for any type of romance. So,
Yeah.
so like meeting, getting together, and I'm just trying to be very careful about plot spoilers here. So
Yeah,
people are like,
absolutely.
"This is the most general book review I've ever heard. What does she know about it?" Um, yeah, I don't want to give away too much for people, but it really is the story of like two characters who meet and they're so lovely together, but um, like a really bad thing happens, and then the question is, where can they possibly go from there? And one of the two characters, Audrey and Fraser. Fraser has a daughter, and I loved that character. I loved her so much. She's very musical, and so is the female protagonist, Audrey. And I loved all of the mentions of music and how that can just how you can have something that's like an obsession, and then something can happen in your life and you can try and push it to the side and try and move on, but your life is just it's there's this great hole, there's this big
Yeah.
emptiness, and trying to reclaim that part of yourself and reconnecting with your creativity. And it really resonated with me
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot, because I'm just getting back into writing after sort of a, sort of a 9-10 year break. So just there were lots of themes there that really spoke to me. So
Oh,
well
that's
done,
awesome.
Emma. And I I'm proud of myself to say I only cried once. So
Ah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think this book of all three of them is adult books. I think this is the one that really like I felt the grief the most. Um just on so many different levels. So yeah, I felt like it really did affect me emotionally reading the book and the way she's written it's just, amazing. But I also just love all the Canberra references. As Canberra people, we don't get featured very often in novels, so it's just really lovely just to have the story told with so many familiar places
yeah.
and things that we can recognize as Canberrans. So yeah, it was a great read. And then after that, I moved on to something a little bit different. Needed to switch it up. So yeah, I'm about not very far, about an eighth of the way through. It's a turn of the 19th century mystery about a con artist. It's got some sort of heist elements. I love a heist book. So that's
Nice.
what I am reading at the moment and really enjoying the setup. It's one of those books at the beginning where there's a lot of protagonists, and then you're waiting for that moment when they all come together for the first time. So that's just about to happen. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the story. It's been set up really well, so I'm really
Oh,
enjoying.
excellent.
Yeah. What about you, Anita?
So I'm the odd one out. I haven't read Emma's book, but I don't do grief stories. I
Yeah. Yep.
I struggle, so
Yep.
I'd love
Yep.
to read them, but I just know emotionally that I can't do that.
Yeah.
So
Just
this week I finished book 29 by an American author, Yana de Leon.
okay.
So yeah, I love her books, and she actually had a year-long hiatus because her husband suddenly passed
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she wasn't even sure she'd write again. So I was very delighted that she did, and I'd been saving it up. So it's set in sort of Southern America in the bayous, and very typical cozy mystery. The protagonist is an ex-CIA assassin, but
Yeah.
her two offsiders are senior women, and it's got all that small town fun happening. So it's a really fun read, and the one that I have now started, and I only started it this morning, so I'm only about 3 chapters in, and I'm reading it on my Kindle, so it's a bit harder to show the book, and it's probably harder because I've got that
Oh
in my
yeah, we
hand.
got it. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we saw it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the fourth of Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club books,
Mhm.
which I love as well. So yeah, only just into it, but the mystery is starting to reveal itself. So I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to hopefully getting some time over the weekend to really dig into that one.
Yeah, yeah. And that Jana De Leon series is it's got the best name. So it's
Oh,
it's the Misfortune series.
yeah.
I just love that play on the word with her last name being Fortune. I just think that's just so clever.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is. And I think that what makes it a little bit more hilarious for me is one of her two offsiders. The one who gets into all the drama and all the problems is Gertie.
Yes.
And my grandmother was Gertrude. So
Oh, okay.
I just, every time I think of her, you know how you picture characters in your head, and it's
Yeah.
probably not how I like, but I just sort of picture my grandmother who would never have done anything like that. But sort so it makes it even funnier. So yeah, no, she's very clever with her names, and she writes so well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So I don't know. We didn't talk at the beginning if we were going to do two or three sprints. So now it's nearly midday. So just checking in with you both on timing.
I can do another one if I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be sorting out my tech, but I'm happy to,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do that while we
Yeah.
sprint.
Yeah, I can do another one
You do
too.
another?
Yeah, no
All
problem. Yeah.
right. Let's do it, and then we'll wrap it up straight afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, no worries.
Thanks.
And we're done.
Yay!
Hooray.
That was so good. I got heaps done.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I got my quotation marks working and I don't have little
Oh,
dots anymore.
I'm very
Oh,
happy for you.
yes. Yay.
I had curly quotes and apparently that was a problem. I can only have straight quotes. So I've
Okay.
had to change that setting and then do a replace on the whole manuscript for all quotation marks. And
Oh,
not just doubles, but like singles as well. So if you've got like don't, all those, apostrophes and
oh
everything. So
no. Oh,
yeah, yeah. So,
Oh,
fun
but that's
times.
okay. I'm now getting them and I'm not getting umlaut, so I'm happy.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Where'd you end up, Joe?
I just got another 200 words, but I was changing the scene also as I was going. So, yeah, happy with how it's looking. How about you?
Nice. Yep. I got about another 300.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to do a few things now, but hopefully I can do some more sprints this afternoon and get those numbers ticking over for the day.
Excellent. You've both done very well.
Yes. Well, you did well to get those problems
Yes.
sorted.
I
It'll stand you in good stead for the weekend.
think I had 32 seconds left on the clock when I had it done, and I was like,
Oh,
oh.
I hate that. Hate that so much. Alrighty, we'll wrap it up now, but where can people find us if they want to find out more about us or our books, Joe?
Um, so people can follow me on Jo McAlister author on Instagram. So I post there every week,
You
just
do.
things that I'm liking to read and just things about writing and also about my dogs and food, all the things I'm interested in.
All the good things in life. AJ?
So at my website, ajblythe.com, and I'm also on Instagram at Aussie Cozy. And I usually only post once a week, but it's sort of a set of photos that kind of I've taken throughout the whole week. So it could be anything that you see. Yeah.
All right. And I am at avanessauthor.com. I am also on Instagram, except very sporadically. I need to do better at Instagram. I think I'm Avaness Books on Instagram. I might see you over there. Thank you very much for sprinting with me this morning. It's been awesome, and I hope you have a lovely weekend and good writing week ahead. And I'll see you next week.
Lovely. See you, Ness. See you,
Great.
Joe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.